Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to present you the Yabber project. Yabber is developed by the team, the Debuggers. So the Debuggers, in the Debuggers, we have a team of 7 developers and 5 DevOps and 2 tutors. So Yabber is an online chat app. It aims to facilitate communication within companies or organizations. So the user has to accept the invitation from an organization, and then he could explore or join public groups inside it. And then he could be added into existing groups or create his own group or chat with anyone inside that organization. Of course, he could accept more than one invitation from different organizations and switch between them. So Yabber is separated from social media or personal communication platform, so he could focus on his team tasks. Yabber's advantage include our light and sleek UI. We use the deep purple theme color to give user a light, bright, and lively experience. Next one, please. So the Yabber's features, there are lots of features. Main features include a public chat and private chat, one-on-one communication, notification of unread messages, online status. So if your colleague is at a different location, we will kindly show your colleague's local time. We also have user role management, and user could also switch between different organizations anytime. So here's a more detailed example of how this works. So we have one user, he could join multiple organizations. And in any organization, there will be unlimited communication channels. We have a public group, which is open and visible to all members. And we have private group. So it's not visible and it could only be added by existing members. And we have a chat, which is a one-on-one communication between anyone within that organization. So our sitemap is, this is our sitemap. So user will first visit our welcome page, and then he could decide to join which organization or create his own. After that, he will visit the main page. In the main page is where our main features are. We have a chat, we have a creation of group, we also have settings. We have settings for admins, and we have also update his personal information. So, sorry. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Yeah, let's move on. So our tech stack, because it's a web app, so we use HTML, CSS, and React. We also use a few libraries to help us, including Formic, Socket, Axios, Style Components, and MUI. For the back end, we use Node.js, Express, Socket, JSON Web Token, and Mongoose. For database, we use MongoDB, which provides flexibility for us. It's worth mentioning that with one server, we actually have 2 frameworks. We have Express, which is responsible for CRUD and data fetching. And we also have Socket.io. Socket.io provides real-time, event-driven user and server initiating communication. So I would like to give it a little bit more information about Socket.io. So Socket.io enabled low latency bilateral communication between a server and a client. It also has concepts like rooms, which will make many of our features available, such as multiple channels, real-time communication, unread message, and online status. So this is our well-thought, sophisticated database, which enables supports all our functions and features. So as coding team, we use the coding principle of readable, maintainable, reusable, which makes our code easier to maintain and easier to read. So if time allows, we are planning a few features. So such as we would like to allow users to upload their profile, and we will compress and maybe limit the size. Yeah, and we would also like to add a reaction to certain messages. And we would like to also include a video communication using WebRTC. And also adding some GIF or emoji to make communication more lively. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so that's the end of this presentation. And next, I would like to ask our team members to give us a real life story about how Yabber helps a kid to communicate in a very, very big school. Okay, now I will give the floor to Peter.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Good evening, everyone. I'm the narrator of this demo section. Suppose now we have a user named Harry Potter, and he opens the website. He will find out the magic word, and he first needs to fill in the sign-up form. Afterwards, by clicking Create Account button, he can become a member of the world. Once signed in, he will enter the welcome page. And we have another user named Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster of Hogwarts School. After he logs in, he will also enter the welcome page. Under Switch tab, he will choose Hogwarts School. After clicking the Hogwarts School button, he will be taken to the main page. Under Group type, there displays a general group which contains all members in Hogwarts School and other groups that he has joined in. In the general group, he can send a message to inform all other members that he is going to invite Harry Potter to Hogwarts School. As an administrator of the organization, he could enter the admin page by clicking Manage Members in the drop-down menu on the top left corner. Then under Invitation tab, he can type in Potter's email to send an invitation. Once sent successfully, he can click the Back to Chat button to go back to the main page. Now let's switch to Potter. He will see an invitation notification badge inside the Accept tab. If he accepts the invitation, he can enter Hogwarts School and the Switch tab. By clicking Profile button, his personal information will be displayed on the right side. If he wants to add or modify some information, he can go to Settings page by clicking Settings in the drop-down menu. Then he can update his personal information. Once updated successfully, he can click back to chat to go back to main page again. Under Discover tab, all public groups and members in Hogwarts School are listed. When he hovers or clicks a public group card, a button to join the group will appear. After he joins Gryffindor, Gryffindor will be added under Group button. When he clicks Gryffindor, it will be activated. Then he can send messages in Gryffindor. Now let's turn to Dumbledore, who is already in Gryffindor. He can see an unread message notification and click to view. Also, he can find Harry Potter under the Discover tab. By clicking the chat button, he can create a chat with Harry Potter. If he clicks Add button, Harry Potter will be added under Chat tab, and Hi Harry will be sent to Harry Potter automatically. Now switch to Potter again. Under Chat tab, he will see an unread message notification from Albus Dumbledore, and click to view it and start to chat with Albus Dumbledore. For example, hello, I heard that Lord Voldemort is back. And we have another user named Lord Voldemort. And now he wants to create another organization. Once he logs in, he will enter the welcome page. Under Create tab, a form to create a new group will be popped up when he clicks the Create button. He can name it as Death Eater and describe it as Dark Magic, and he will go to Death Eater's main page afterwards. Since Voldemort is a member of Hogwarts School, and he is also the leader of Death Eater, by clicking Switch Organizations in the drop-down menu, he will go back to the welcome page and switch between these two organizations. Now back to Dumbledore. Dumbledore decides to remove Voldemort from Hogwarts School since he is a Lord of Evil. Dumbledore can go to the admin page by clicking Manage Members in the drop-down menu and find Voldemort in the dashboard. Change his status from active to inactive. As for Voldemort, when he clicks Hogwarts School, he can't go to Hogwarts School's main page since Hogwarts School has been removed from his organization list. Well, for Potter, he can't find Manage Members option in the drop-down menu to go to the admin page, since he is now the admin of Hogwarts School, so he needs to ask for Dumbledore's help. After knowing Potter's request, Dumbledore can grant admin privilege to Potter in the dashboard. Switch to Harry Potter. Now he can go to admin page by clicking Manage Members in the drop-down menu. He can return to the main page by clicking Back to Chat. Harry Potter makes some new friends, so he wants to create a new group. He can click the New Group button in the drop-down menu. Then a form to create a new group will pop up. Harry Potter can name it as Hagrid's Hut, describe it as Charm Club, and set it as a private group. Then he can add some people. After the Create button is clicked, Hagrid's Hut will be added under the Group tab. Now the story ends. Harry Potter and his friends live happily in the magic world. And this concludes the demo section. Next, let me invite the DevOps team to present.
Okay, so next page, please. Okay, so hi, everyone, I'm Ruby, and I'm going to introduce the architecture in our project. We use a three-tier architecture consists of the presentation layer, business logic layer, and data storage layer. I would start to introduce the front-end architecture first. And next page, please. Okay, after the deployment, we host the static website on the Amazon S3 bucket, and we register our domain and host the zone in Route 53. Then we use Amazon Certificate Manager to create a SSL certificate for HTTPS for the encrypted connection. After that, we use the CloudFront to configure CDN for loading page, which decreases latency to deliver content to the users. For logic layer, our application is implemented as ECS Fargate tasks in 2 different availability zones, which provide high availability, and they are deployed in private subnets for secure communication. The private subnet does not have direct access to the internet. Therefore, we attached 2 NAT gateway in public subnet to solve this problem. The NAT gateway can talk to the internet on behalf of the ECS so that the task can request the ECR images or some logs to the CloudWatch. Now we deployed application load balancer to allow traffic from public to each of our containers so that users can access ECS through application load balancer and forward the request traffic to the container tasks. Each Fargate task is attached to an elastic networking interfaces, and IP of the networking interface is added to the load balancer configuration. This architecture allows our application container to be safely isolated from the rest of the internet. They can initial communication with external resources through NAT gateway, and we're able to receive traffic from the public through application load balancer. The data storage layer was implemented using MongoDB. Our project used CloudWatch and Grafana of monitoring and alerting. Application load balancer and Fargate send logs to CloudWatch and then imported it into the Grafana. And next, Mia will introduce our pipeline related part.
Okay, so we implemented CI/CD pipeline to enable our development team to release a constant flow of updates into production. So the Bitbucket is used for both front-end and back-end codes, and we use Jenkins server for the CI/CD. The pipeline will be triggered when the code is merged to the main branch and Jenkins file will be executed. For the front-end, the pipeline will install packages and build artifacts, and these artifacts will be uploaded and deployed to AWS S3 bucket, and CloudFront will be set up to deliver the web content to the users. And for the backend part, the pipeline will first dockerize the backend content into an image, and the image will be pushed to ECR repository. The Fargate task will pull the latest image from ECR and deploy the backend content. Next page, please. Thank you. So we design and build the application in the concept of high availability. So our system uses features like different availability zones, which prevent service outage due to the geolocation failure. And we have application load balancer, which will route traffic to another task when one is not working. And during the deployment, we use we have the auto scaling part. And next page, please. And the security is also our big concern. So we have SSL certificate for HTTPS encrypted connection. We block the public access for S3 bucket, which only allow traffic from CloudFront. And we also have security groups and private subnets, which make sure the audit traffic that flows at the instance level is only through our established ports and protocols. Next page. Yeah, I think this is all of our presentation. And is there any questions?